To create a class in Google Classroom, the first thing that we're going to need to do is to get to Classroom. There are a couple ways to do that. One is using the waffle, and underneath the waffle, if you click More, you will likely see Google Classroom listed as one of your choices. You can also get to it by typing in classroom.google.com right here in the URL, the omnibar. I'm going to click Classroom, and that's going to go ahead and get me started. You can see that I already have a practice class set up, and this is my basic launch page for Google Classroom. And as I start adding classes, they will show on this dashboard page. You see the plus. I'm going to simply click the plus, and that is going to give me two choices. One is to join a class. That would be appropriate if I wanted to be a student in someone else's class, but in this case, as the teacher, I want to create a class. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm given a very simple pop-up where I'm going to enter information relevant to the class. Typically, I'm going to want to say what period I'm teaching. So in this case, I'm going to say period 2 English. I could also say English period 2 if that made more sense. I can provide the section information as well. You could also put the period down here, but somewhere you are going to want to identify what period you're teaching. I'm going to click Create. It's going to think for a second, and it's going to provide me now with a page where I can get started. It's showing me that this is period 2 English section 1 and that I am the teacher. You'll notice that I'm given 3 different choices that I can go to. The stream, which is where I can add assignments, announcements, and other details of the course. I'll do that a little bit later, but for now I want to go to the Students tab, which is where I can add information about my students. This is a way for them to get invited to the course. The simplest way is to use the class code, which is identified here. So again, I can invite students by giving them that class code. I can also go ahead and add students manually if that's something that I want to do. I'm going to invite students, and I can look up in my contacts and add students as desired. And there's Bridget McGarry, and so I can go ahead and add her as a student to the course if I wanted to by clicking Invite Students. There's also a way to add, if you have groups set up at your school, you can add students or select from students by group. So you'll want to, one way or the other, either via the class code or adding students individually, add all of the students associated to, in this case, the period 1 English course. I'm going to click Invite Students, and that will add Bridget to the list, which will flesh out, again, as the class code is used by students or as when you add them individually on this page. You can also delete students from here, or you can email them, either individually or in a group.